Right guys, Jamin here from Oztech Drones. We're back again. A few videos here today. This video here, we're going to go through one of XAG's new features is marking the field out with the actual drone itself. This drone here. %90 of the time, we'll either mark it off the or we'll use the drone to mark it out. Very rarely do we use another little drone to mark out the field. We find a lot of the time it's not worth it, to be honest. Some people spend hours marking out a field and they don't, it's all automated spray anyway, so there's no point. You can mark out the boundaries within. So a lot of people get caught up in the old fancy photos and everything like that with mapping out with smaller cameras. We do some of it, but very rarely. So this is how we would quickly mark out a field. We're going to use the drone for this one. Some guys run around on buggies with the controller. You can do that also, very similar to what we're going to do here. There is another video on how to do that already. We've done that one. But this one here is purely how to mark out a field using the drone as a reference point. So obviously the drone's on, controller's on, everything turns on, it's all connected to VRTK. So what we're going to go now, we're going to hit the plus symbol at the top of the field. We're going to go new field. We're going to stand back because we're about to take off. So down the bottom right hand corner here, we've got a few functions. We've got the finger function, which is just if we're marking it off a satellite map. We've got the drone function and we've got the controller function. We're going to use the drone. So you can see here we've got P100 Pro. We're going to use that. Going to exit out of that. You can see we've got the camera on there. Now a few buttons on the actual controller to a few buttons that we would use for this. So you've got on the top of the controller, you've got R1, you've got L1, you've got L2 and R2. Now to mark a point with the, what we're going to do is we're going to fly the drone to a point and then we're going to mark it. So you mark it using L1, and if you want to delete a point, you press L2. R1 changes the camera, so from the front facing camera to the downward facing camera. So that's handy because on the actual screen, if you change it to the downward facing camera, you actually get a set of crosshairs underneath you. So if I'll click out of that. Oh, hang on, what have I done here? Turn the camera on, there we go. So you can see underneath us we've got a set of crosshairs, so that's handy if you want to get it spot on if you're flying quite high and those sort of things. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to take off manually. So we're going to do a normal two going down diagonally. I'll move out of the way a little bit. We're just going to take off manually. We're going to fly the drone over to our first point. So say for instance I want to just mark it here. So I can see here on the phone here now, I can see looking straight underneath us, that's roughly the edge of the field. But in saying that, normally like a standard operation, you'll be about 1.5 meters to 2 meters away from the boundary. So what I normally like to do is move out a bit from the edge of the field. So say, I don't know, a few meters away, and then we'll mark that. So we'll press L1 like that, and we want to move to the next spot. The only thing with this is you can't mark the points while it's flying flat out. So you need to stop. So we'll stop the drone like that. We can change the camera as well if we want. I'll go out of that and go into the camera. There we go. So we can look what's in front of us, and we press L1 again, and then you can see on the screen here we've marked another point. So if I press L2, you'll see it deletes that point. You can see down the bottom here it says 1 point marked. So if I click it again, that's 2 points. So we'll move it over now. Move it over to the next spot. Okay, we'll stop here. That's good enough. Press L1. I can change to the camera underneath us if I want. Well, see how it gives us an error because I was still moving. Wait for it to stop. Yep. Now we'll move to the next spot. Yep. Stop here. Oh, actually, we'll go to the end. May as well. No point. Like that. Can mark that. I'll move over a bit. Like that. Mark that. And then you can just hit auto close and it'll close it. So if you want to mark out your obstacles, down the bottom left-hand corner there you see field boundary. If you click on that, you can also mark out your obstacles as well as your no spray zones. So from this, you can keep flying in the air and go, say if I go test, call it test 1, you don't have to land it. You can start spraying your field pretty much. So if I go operation now, I click on that, I go confirm, and I go start operation, it'll actually start spraying from that point. It is beeping at me now at the moment though, because we're under 30% battery. And you can see as well, if I start it there, the home point isn't actually where it's flying now, it's where we initially started from when we first started marking out the field. So it's good that it doesn't just go from where it is now. I'll bring it back anyway because we went out with not much battery, so I'll bring it back and land it. And that's that. That's how you mark out pretty much a field using the drone. So very similar to using the controller itself, but yeah, we're just using the drone obviously. So great for areas that you can't get to, but you want to still do it quickly. You know, you don't want to spend hours marking around, mapping out with the smaller drone, waiting for it to upload. You know, all internet sort of thing. So it works really great for that. So yeah, easy as that. Cheers.